I read Jacques Cousteau's book, The Silent World, and that kind of changed my life. About 1960s, I learned to scuba dive, and we've been scuba diving ever since. The opening sequences of Ulysses start in actual Sandy Cove with the snot green Irish Sea, and unfortunately I think a lot of Dubliners think of it like that. And the truth is that certainly from the 70s, a little bit into the 80s, it was fairly polluted. We were doing pretty awful things with our sewerage at those times, but there's been a huge improvement in the bay. There's been a dramatic improvement. Most Dubliners have no idea what's literally just underneath their noses.
Now, you're going to take me snorkelling today. Now, you have to bear in mind that I am a complete rookie and I'm totally in your hands. But what can I look forward to seeing? Will I see any colour?
You will be amazed how much colour is down there. But the most important thing I think that you'll be interested in is the seals. Because living just off Dalkey Island in appropriately named Seal Bay, we have this big colony of common seals. And we've been snorkelling with them for decades.
You'll see the seals hauling out and basking in the sun in the summertime up here, so you see them on the surface as well as below. They're beautiful. Wow. It's just amazing to be able to see a marine mammal in Dublin like that. I just love it.
We're just coming to the Muglands, a small island just beside Dalkey, as you can see over there. Probably the best of the whole of the east coast for diving. It's a really high energy site. It means an awful lot of current passes by, bringing an awful lot of nutrients, a lot of plankton. So a lot of soft corals are on the rock. Every square millimetre is covered with life. We're just going to check the current, make sure the current is doing what it's meant to do, and then we're going to kit up and go diving.
Unlike the rest of this crew, I'm not a qualified diver, so I have to sit this one out as they take the... When you were diving a short while ago, Emma, what did you see?
A huge amount of life. It was just a beautiful dive with great clear water, beautiful rock formations sets the scene, and then on those rocks it's completely covered. It's not bare rocks like you see around us now up on the surface. It's covered with soft corals, so dead man's fingers, what we call them, the common name, and then also plumose anemones, these large orange and white anemones. They're relative of the jellyfish, and they have their tentacles, they stick out, and then when fish come along they sting them and bring them inside. And then swimming amongst those covered rocks are these ballan wrasse, and then also invertebrates like big edible crabs. The kelp would be the most common seaweed that we'd see down there. It has a big holdfast, grabs onto the rock to keep itself steady in the rough seas of the Irish Sea, but it only really grows up until about 8 to 12 metres of depth, because below that depth it's not really bright enough, and because it is a plant it needs sunlight to feed itself. When I surface from a dive, particularly around this area, and you can see the skyline of Dublin on the horizon, you just think, I'm right beside the city. I'm half an hour on the dart from the city centre and I have this activity on my doorstep, and for me that's so special.
Do you think as Dubliners we perhaps underappreciate what's on our doorstep?
Absolutely, and I think that the more we can connect with what we have, maybe the more we'll appreciate Dublin as a city and also help protect the marine life that we have here.
Now it's my turn to get kitted up and go snorkeling.
was delightful. It's so peaceful looking into the water. That's what I take from it, really, more than anything else. Plant life and a few little fish. We had a little encounter with the little seal over there, which was delightful. But it's basically what I took from it is the tranquility of what you're looking at down there. And here it is in what was dirty old Dublin Bay. No longer, I have to say. Just off the coast of Derry. It's fantastic.